Hello viewers, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's been a while since we made video here. I can say approximately 6 months, and during this period we've had a series of troubles here at this ranch. Yes, you heard me right, troubles and problems. And in a short while I'll be reviewing why we failed and some of the problems that we have faced during this period. Also had some measure of success during this period, but I will tell you that the troubles we have superseded the success we had over the last 6 months. And in this period also, it's been a period without support. As I normally say on this channel, that we don't always need to stay and wait for support from anybody. We have to do it on our own, and if the support comes or tags along the way, then it is good. We can benefit from that, but we cannot wait for any support. We have to continue to go on. We have to continue to do the work. So in a short period of time, I'll be telling you why we failed during this period. Welcome back. So, a quick one. I know all of us are expecting, where have you been? What have you been up to? What have been the challenges or the success? Did you give up on farming? And a whole lot of questions. I want to also appreciate some of you that have reached out to me on phone. Some called me from London, from United States of America, South Africa, and so many places, even in Nigeria, that they called me to find out how have I been and what are the problems or the success we have achieved. Because the truth is, the success of Odis Ranch as an agricultural firm is also the success of Nigeria and the success of Africa. Because I still believe that agriculture is the only tool that we can use to liberate ourselves from poverty here in Africa. Agriculture is also the only tool that we have an advantage on. We can feed the world using agriculture. And even though we have so many challenges that come up, we have two options. It's either we close down and run away, or we stay and fight. And my mentor, Strike Masewa, normally say that we do not fight the condition, rather we fight in the condition. So over the last 6 months, or I think it's up to 8 months or so now, that we made a decision that we are going to stop our crowdfunding aspect of our business. I knew that it was going to be a downturn for us, but the reason why we had to do it is because for us to be legal and to be law-abiding, especially in the country that Odis Ranch, which is Nigeria, is currently based, we must follow all the laws, all the rules. It was going to be a downturn for us. But the reason why we had to do it is because for us to be legal and to be law-abiding, especially in the country that Odis Ranch, which is Nigeria, is currently based, we must follow all the laws, all the rules that govern the society. So towards the I think around August last year, we had a whole lot of petitions from a regulatory body called Security and Exchange Commission. The petition was not for us though, because our model was quite different. But we have other agricultural firms or investment firm that the Security and Exchange Commission wrote to them that they needed to have some license in order to collect or solicit for funds from the general public. See, there's a difference between you coming to me privately for us to do business and coming on maybe social media to advertise and promise a certain return on investment. So we decided as a management team that we have to halt our investment. But here is where the problem is. Majority of the capital that we have already sourced have gone into infrastructure. For instance, if you give me money for me to rear 20 pigs for you, I will have to build a building or a pen or a house for the 20 pig. And when you add another 10 pig, you have to extend the house for the 10 pig. And that is why we normally say agriculture is a capital intensive investment. It's a capital intensive investment. And the more you try to expand, the more you have to get more land, the more you have to get more labor, the more you also have to get more adequate accommodation for all the livestock that you wish to keep in your farm. So most of this money have also gone into infrastructure. So we knew that trying to pay back all this money will also be a challenge. But when you are digging a hole and you discover that it is the wrong hole, the best thing to do is to stop digging. Because the more you dig, the more you get into, you waste your time, and at the end of the day, it's more effort trying to cover back that hole. So we decided about 7-8 months ago that we are no longer going to do the crowdfunding aspect of our business. Our business model when we started was simple. We allow people to co-ranch with us. But over sometimes we now introduce the promise on return on investment, and that is where most of the wahala is. When you promise someone that you are going to, if he give you 1 million naira and you are going to give him 30% of his investment, if agriculture is a risky business, very risky, and if at the end of those periods maybe something happened, the goats die, the pigs die, or the fish die, or whatever happened, see, you have already promised this one that you are going to give him 30% on his 1 million, and that is what he's expecting. You've already signed a contract with him. So if you have a problem along the way, what now happens is that you have to now advertise again for another person to bring in money so that you can use that money to settle the first person. And before you know it, you are already in the Ponzi scheme aspect of running business. You are already out of agriculture. It's either you are already running a financial institution or you are running a Ponzi scheme. And the goal here is to run an agricultural business. So we knew all this. I, for one, knew that all this is going to happen. But I knew that if we could stop digging in time, we'll be able to save the farm. We'll be able to save Odis Ranch from dying. And why did we choose the crowdfunding aspect model of our business? Let me tell you a story. In 2015, I was selected among about 6 other people in Nasarawa State as part of the youth capacity, what do they call it? They call it YESP, That is Youth Entrepreneurship Support Program that was run by the Bank of Industry. We were trained for 6 months online, and after that we went for a physical training in Lokoja, where we were trained by Prince Salt Consulting Firm. The government promised to give us 10 million naira in order to start up our farm, and for those that already have an existing farm, to boost the farm, to produce more, and also to employ more people. Despite all the time we wasted, the government did not give us any money out of this. The requirement when that program was advertised and we applied was that we are going to use our BSc as a collateral. We are going to drop the original of our BSc as a collateral. And even though when we did that, the government did not give us that money. So this is just how hard it is for you to source funds in Nigeria. I went to the Bank of Agriculture in 2016 after a 1-year failed attempt to raise funds from the Bank of Industry. The Bank of Agriculture, we registered, I opened an account, and I laugh because anytime I talk about the Bank of, I know this is a YouTube, I don't need to call names, but I am not an audio farmer, and we need to be frank with ourselves. The Bank of Industry, the Bank of Agriculture, I don't even know whether it's a bank. Sorry to say this, but zero support. Then from that 2016, I started saving up money for this ranch. I started saving up money. I was working and I was saving money and I was buying land in where we currently occupy. So within those periods while I was buying land, I'm just trying to tell you how to raise funds in Nigeria is. The funds I have been able to raise. So I raised up to 15 million naira from my savings. From that 15 million naira, that was what I used to start Odis Ranch. And even after I started Odis Ranch with that fund, I was still contributing every month from my salary to the ranch. And that was before we started the crowdfunding model. Now, we started the crowdfunding model so that we'll be able to expand, so that we're able to accommodate more people in Nigeria, people in the diaspora that wish to invest in agriculture, but they do not have a vehicle to do it. So I was able to win or convince some people to invest with us, and we started well and we are doing great. But when that issue comes, especially on social media, because social media is the platform I am using, especially Facebook, to call for investment. So when I found out, it was illegal in Nigeria, not until I get a particular license to call for investment for a pool of people to invest. It's different when you reach out to me privately and we do a deal than when I am calling and I'm promising a certain return on investment. And that was when we had to halt this investment. We have to start paying back. We have to start paying back people that have invested in us. We have to start paying them back. And we had more than 100 investors during this period. And I can say right now, we currently have less than 15 individuals that is left for us to pay back. Has it been easy? No. It's been the hardest period in my life. It's been the hardest time sometimes I'll tell myself, why not just give up and call this thing a quit? Sometimes I get messages from angry partners that are angry, and you cannot blame them. I also have my own fault. My own fault is communication. I was not able to reach out to them and communicate with them, telling them that, hey, look at what we have decided to do and look at how you can get your money back. No, I didn't do that. It was wrong on my part. And the reason why I was not able to communicate is that I was also taking other odd jobs. Apart from the agri place, I was taking other jobs in order to get more fund, doing other things in order to gain more fund to be able to pay them back in record time. And even though I tried so hard, we've not been able to clear everybody. We still have up to 15 people or so that we are paying right now. Some of them are also my subscriber here on YouTube channel. So I am making out this video also to some farmers that are currently facing challenges raising capital. I want to tell you this from experience, that promising a certain return in agriculture is a recipe for disaster. I don't need you to go into the river first to discover whether there are some crocodiles that can eat you. I want to use myself as a sacrificial lamb, as someone you should learn from, to tell you that there are some problems. Insurance in Nigeria is even something else. Because some of you will say, why not insure the farm? Oh, wow. All cars in Nigeria are insured. Do you know that? When you go to register your car, you insure it. But after the accident, what happened? What happened? So, insurance is, I'm trying to do, using Leadway. I'm trying to meet Leadway with my lawyers for us to do insurance at the farm now. And I hope that it gets better. Now, these are some of the challenges that we face during this period. And then when we now started paying, we were almost at the age of paying off about 5 more people from these 15. A natural disaster just hit us. And we had damage of over 10 to 15 million naira at the farm. The rain fell, and when the rain fell, so the pig section was completely destroyed. Our garage section where we process cassava was destroyed. The fish section, there's a fence that run about 200 feet that linked to the fish section. They were completely destroyed too. Animals that died as a result of wood hitting them, and so many damages that we incur, including animals that we lost that are run away because the fence were not there again. It was as if all these things were coming step by step. They were just coming together. So this period affected me. It affected even my health. It affected even my health. I could not think straight. And you know that content making, just like YouTube videos like this, first of all comes with your state of mind. So I couldn't even stand in front of a camera like this to make videos. I couldn't even reach out to my investors. I didn't even know what to tell them. I was just confused. But did we have some level of success during this period? Yes, we did. The establishment of pork and things too was a blessing to us at Odis Ranch. Pork and Things started in 19th December 2021. And since then, Pork and Things have become a household brand here in Lafayette. It has become a brand where people comes around and they come for realization. They come to eat fresh from farm products. They've come to eat, and Pork and Things is so successful that the revenue or the sales revenue that we make monthly or daily is wild. I would say that without Pork and Things, we wouldn't have been able to even pay back from the loss that we incur at Odis Ranch. So Pork and Things have been able to help serve as a leverage for us to pay back our partners, and we know that very soon we'll be able to clear all our partners and we'll be debt free here at Odis Ranch. But until then, how are we making efforts to pay back? We launched a $40 payout every day. So what this means is that for these people we are owing, we pay them $40. We pay $40, which is about 20,000 naira a year, to one person every day. So every day from what we do, both at Odis Ranch and at Pork and Things, we take away $40, which we pegged at 20,000 naira to pay someone. So imagine owing someone maybe 1 million naira, and every 10 days or so you pay 20,000 naira. You know, some of them we are also angry that we needed this money in bulk and all that. But we've also made other efforts. Through CBN, we've reached out to know whether we can get intervention here. And even though we have had from NISA, we had guarantee from them to give us a certain amount of money. But till now, we have not been able to access this fund. So we cannot just rely on telling them that we will be waiting for this fund in order to be able to clear the backlog. No. In the interim, what can we do? This is what we can do, and that is why we are doing it. For some of them, they have accepted it and they are happy that we are able to even pay, even after amidst all the challenges that we have faced in this period. So, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I have to tell you just the background of all this problem, because the next video I'm going to be making is showing you how we are rebuilding this farm. I'm going to be showing you how we are using local materials that we find around in order to rebuild the farm. And we are also be showing you how doggedness and tenacity can make you, even though you have failed, to bounce back. You are going to be following me on a journey of seeing how a failed farm will rise up again and become what it is, one of the biggest farms here in Nassau State. So on our next video, you are going to be seeing how we are trying to rebuild back Odis Ranch from the dust. I still remain Odis Senior, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.